The busy street corner fell silent for Officer Marcus Chen the moment Rex stopped breathing. Saturday afternoon sunshine painted the downtown festival in gold. 200 people moved through Fifth and Market like a living river. The smell of grilled sausages mixed with kettle corn drifted through warm air. Children shrieked with laughter near the face-painting booth. A street musician played guitar somewhere close, the melody soft beneath the noise. Marcus walked his usual patrol route. Rex moved beside him, a Belgian Malinois with a black and tan coat that caught the light. The dog's ears swiveled constantly, tracking every sound. His dark eyes scanned the crowd with the focus of a trained professional. Nothing felt wrong. Nothing felt urgent. Marcus had walked this beat for 12 years, 6 of those years with Rex at his side. They knew these streets the way some people know their own homes. Every alley, every shortcut, every place trouble liked to hide. The radio on Marcus's shoulder crackled with routine chatter. A fender bender on 3rd, a noise complaint near the library. Normal Saturday things. Marcus was 38 now. The job had given him gray at his temples. The divorce 2 years back had given him the lines around his eyes. He lived alone in a 1-bedroom apartment that always felt too quiet. Rex slept on a dog bed beside his own. The Malinois rode shotgun in the patrol car, responded to hand signals Marcus barely had to think about anymore. Rex was the only constant thing left in his life. They passed a taco truck. The vendor waved. Marcus nodded back. Rex's tail wagged once, then stilled. Always professional on duty. A little girl dropped her ice cream cone. She started crying. Her mother knelt to comfort her. Normal things, safe things. Marcus checked his watch. Another 2 hours on this shift. Then Rex froze. The dog stopped mid-step like he'd hit an invisible wall. His entire body went rigid. Ears pitched forward so hard they trembled. Every muscle locked into place. Marcus's hand dropped to Rex's back. He felt the tension there, vibrating just beneath the fur. "What is it, boy?" Rex didn't move, didn't blink. He stared across the street with an intensity Marcus had seen before, but never like this. This was different. This was something new. Marcus followed his gaze. He saw the crowd. Families, couples, teenagers clustered near the music stage. A woman with a little girl, walking hand in hand toward the parking structure on the corner. Nothing unusual, nothing wrong. But Rex whined. It was a sound Marcus had never heard from him before. Low and urgent, almost painful, the kind of sound that raised every hair on the back of Marcus's neck. "Talk to me, Rex. What do you see?" The dog's front paw lifted slightly. His nose twitched. He was tracking something Marcus couldn't perceive, something invisible to human senses. Marcus studied the scene again. The woman wore a blue jacket and white sneakers. Blonde hair pulled into a ponytail. Mid-30s, maybe. She smiled down at the girl, talking about something. Ice cream, it looked like. Her lips formed the words even across the distance. The girl was small. 7 years old, maybe younger. Dark hair in braids. Pink shirt with a cartoon character Marcus didn't recognize. She held the woman's hand obediently. They looked normal. They looked fine. But Rex pulled against his leash. Actually pulled, straining forward. Ward with force, Marcus had to brace against. The Malinois never broke discipline. Never. "Easy, easy, boy." Marcus moved closer, using the crowd as cover. His training kicked in automatically. Observe, assess, don't assume. The girl walked stiffly. Her steps were too careful, too measured. Like someone moving through deep water, like someone afraid of making a mistake. The woman's grip on her hand looked tight, too tight. Her knuckles were white. Marcus narrowed his eyes. The girl's free hand hung at her side. Her fingers moved in small, deliberate patterns, over and over, the same sequence repeating. Marcus felt ice slide down his spine. He knew those patterns. He'd seen them in training videos, in tactical briefings, hand signals, military style. The girl was signing letters, H-E-L-P, over and over and over. Help, help, help. Rex growled, deep and protective, rumbling from his chest like distant thunder. People nearby turned to look. A mother pulled her child closer. An elderly man stepped back. Marcus's hand moved to his radio. His heart hammered against his ribs. The woman noticed the attention. Her head snapped up. Her eyes found Marcus and Rex. Her smile vanished for just a second, replaced by something cold and sharp. Then the smile returned, wider now. Wrong. She pulled the girl closer and started walking faster. The girl looked back over her shoulder, her eyes locked with Marcus's. They were huge and dark and filled with something that made his chest hurt. Terror, pure terror. Her hand moved again, fingers forming letters with desperate precision. P-L-E-A-S-E. Marcus grabbed his radio. Dispatch, this is Unit 47. I need backup at 5th and Market. Possible 207 in progress. Suspect is white female, mid-30s, blonde hair, blue jacket, white sneakers. She has a child with her, approximately 7 years old, dark hair, pink shirt. The dispatcher's voice crackled back. Copied at Unit 47. Can you confirm the 207? Negative confirmation, but something is very wrong here. Child is displaying distress signals. Units responding. Maintain visual contact. Marcus started moving. Rex strained forward, nearly dragging him. The crowd parted around them, sensing the sudden shift in energy. The woman and girl disappeared around the corner toward the parking structure. Marcus broke into a run. Before we start, make sure to hit like, share, and subscribe. Drop your country name in the comments. I love seeing how far our stories travel. What this trained police dog detected in a crowd of 200 people would expose a nightmare hiding in plain sight. Marcus rounded the corner with Rex pulling hard against the leash. The parking structure loomed ahead, a concrete beast that swallowed the afternoon light. Shadows stretched across oil-stained pavement. The festival noise faded behind them, replaced by the echo of footsteps and distant car engines. He spotted them 30 yards ahead. The woman moved quickly now, practically dragging the girl. Her blonde ponytail swung with each urgent step. The girl stumbled, caught herself, kept moving. Marcus keyed his radio again. Unit 47. Suspects entering the 5th Street parking structure, requesting silent approach from backup. Copy. Units 2 minutes out. 2 minutes felt like forever. Rex whined again, that same urgent sound that vibrated through the leash and into. Oh, Marcus's hand. The dog's muscles trembled beneath his coat, every instinct screaming to move faster. I know, buddy. Stay with me. They entered the structure. The temperature dropped 10 degrees. Fluorescent lights hummed overhead, casting everything in sickly yellow. The smell hit Marcus immediately. Motor oil, exhaust, something else underneath, something sour. Footsteps echoed from the level above. Marcus moved toward the ramp, keeping close to the wall. Rex's nails clicked against concrete, too loud, too exposed. Then the footsteps stopped. Marcus froze. He strained to hear anything. Car door opening, voices, movement. Nothing but silence. Rex's ears swiveled forward, his body coiled tight, every muscle ready to spring. He stared up the ramp with absolute focus. Marcus made a decision. He unclipped Rex's leash. Find. Rex exploded forward, a black and tan blur racing up the ramp. Marcus ran after him, hand on his weapon. Heart hammering, he reached the 2nd level just as Rex skidded to a stop. The woman stood 15 feet away beside a white van. The girl was frozen at her side, eyes wide with terror. The van's side door hung open. Marcus could see inside. Rope coiled on the floor. Duct tape. Blankets stacked against the wall. A child's stuffed animal lying on its side. His stomach turned to ice. Rex positioned himself between the woman and the girl, not attacking, just blocking. His growl rolled through the parking structure like approaching thunder. The woman's face twisted. Get your dog away from us. Her voice was raw, too high, too sharp, the voice of someone barely holding together. Marcus moved closer, hands visible, weapons still holstered. Ma'am, I'm going to need to see some identification, yours and the child's. She's my daughter. The woman's hand moved to her purse. This is harassment. You can't just... Then you won't mind proving that. The girl hadn't moved, hadn't made a sound. She stood perfectly still like a statue carved from fear. But her hand moved, fingers forming shapes Marcus recognized instantly. N-O-T-M-O-M. Rex barked, once, sharp and urgent. Marcus saw it in the woman's eyes. The exact moment she realized everything was falling apart. Her face changed, the mask dropped away, revealing something desperate and wild underneath. She ran, bolted toward the exit stairs on the far side of the level. Her footsteps rang out like gunshots. "Stop! Police!" Marcus started after her, then froze. He couldn't leave the girl, couldn't leave her alone next to that van, with its open door and coiled rope. He grabbed his radio. "Suspect fleeing on foot, northwest stairwell. I have the child. Officer needs assistance, second level." Rex stayed beside the girl. He didn't chase, didn't move, just stood there like a guardian, carved from loyalty and training. 30 seconds later, Officer Sarah Martinez burst onto the level, weapon drawn. She took in the scene instantly. The van, the girl, Rex standing watch. "Go," Sarah said. "I've got her." Marcus ran. His boots pounded against concrete as he hit the stairwell. He could hear the woman below, her panicked breathing echoing upward. He took the stairs 3 at a time. He reached ground level, burst through the door into blinding sunlight. The festival crowd spread before him like a maze. Hundreds of people. Movement everywhere. The woman was gone, vanished into the sea of faces and noise. And Saturday afternoon chaos. Marcus spun in a circle, searching. Nothing. She could be anywhere. All units, suspect has escaped into festival crowd. White female, mid-30s, blonde hair, blue jacket, extremely dangerous. His hands shook. Frustration burned in his chest like acid. He'd lost her. Marcus forced himself to breathe, forced himself to think. The girl was safe. That was what mattered. The girl was safe. He turned and ran back to the parking structure. Sarah knelt beside the girl on the second level. An emergency blanket wrapped around small shoulders. Rex sat pressed against the girl's side, solid and worn and impossibly gentle. The girl's fingers were buried in his fur, holding on like he was the only real thing in the world. Paramedics arrived. They moved slowly, carefully, speaking in soft voices. The girl flinched at every sudden movement. Marcus knelt down to her eye level. "Can you tell me your name, sweetheart?" A girl's voice came out barely above a whisper. "Emma." "Emma what?" "Emma Rodriguez." The name hit Marcus like a punch. He knew that name. He'd seen it on the missing persons board at the station. "How long have you been with that woman, Emma?" 6 days. Tears streaked down her face. "She took me from school, told me my parents were dead, kept me in a basement." Sarah's face went pale. Marcus felt rage building in his chest, hot and dangerous. "You're safe now," he said. "I promise you're safe." Emma looked at Rex. He knew. That dog knew I needed help. Marcus glanced at his partner. Rex's dark eyes were calm now, focused completely on the little girl beside him. "How did you know those hand signals?" Marcus asked gently. "My dad taught me." Emma's voice steadied slightly. "He's a soldier. He said if I ever got in trouble and couldn't talk, I should use my hands." Smart kid. Brave kid. A detective arrived to take her statement. More officers secured the van. Crime scene techs swarmed over it like ants. Marcus stood back, watching Emma. She kept one hand on Rex the entire time. The Malinois didn't move, just sat there radiating calm and safety. Sarah walked over. "How did Rex know?" Marcus shook his head. "I has no idea. He's trained for tracking, narcotics, explosives. Not this. Never this." He detected something none of us saw. Marcus looked at his partner. Rex met his gaze for a moment, then returned his attention to Emma. Something had changed. Something fundamental had shifted in the way Marcus understood what his dog could do. Rex hadn't smelled drugs or tracked a scent. He'd sensed fear, sensed desperation, sensed a child screaming for help in absolute silence. That wasn't in any training manual Marcus had ever read. Marcus followed the ambulance to County General. Emma refused to let go of Rex, so the paramedics made an exception. The Malinois rode in back, sitting perfectly still beside the gurney, while Emma's small hand stayed buried in his fur. At the hospital, Emma's mother arrived within 20 minutes. Teresa Rodriguez burst through the emergency room doors like a woman possessed. Her face was ravaged by 6 days of hell. Dark circles under her eyes, hands shaking. When she saw Emma, she made a sound that wasn't quite human. Mother and daughter collapsed into each other. Teresa sobbed. Emma sobbed. Nurses gave them space. Marcus stood back with Rex. The dog watched the reunion with his head tilted slightly, ears forward. Teresa looked up through her tears. "You found her. You brought my baby back." "Rex found her," Marcus said quietly. "I just followed." Teresa reached out and touched Rex's head. "Thank you, thank you." The hospital wanted to keep Emma overnight for observation, standard procedure after abduction cases. Teresa wouldn't leave her side. Marcus gave his statement to the detective handling the case. Detective Bradley was 50-something, gray-haired, 20 years on the job. He'd seen everything. "The woman in the van," Marcus said. "Did we identify her?" Bradley flipped through his notes. Crime scene, pulled a fingerprint. Got a hit. Karen Sullivan, 34, lives in Riverside. Previous record? Nothing violent. Some psychiatric holds 3 years back after her daughter died in a car accident. Girl was 7. Marcus felt something cold settle in his stomach. Same age as Emma. Yeah. Bradley's expression was grim. Sullivan dropped out of therapy, stopped taking medication. Looks like she snapped. Any idea where she is now? Units searched her apartment. Empty. Neighbors haven't seen her in days. Bradley closed his notebook. She's in the wound. Marcus didn't like it. Didn't like that Sullivan was out there somewhere, desperate and dangerous. He drove back to the station as sunset painted the sky orange and purple. Rex sat in his usual spot in the back, behind the cage partition. The dog was calm now, breathing steady. At home that night, Marcus couldn't sleep. He sat on his couch with Rex beside him, reviewing everything in his mind. How had Rex known? The dog had detected Emma's distress from across a crowded street. Through 200 people, through noise and movement and chaos. It wasn't smell, it wasn't sound, it was something else entirely. Marcus pulled out his laptop, started searching. Canine emotional detection, police dogs sensing distress. Working dogs' psychological abilities. Most of it was standard. Dogs reading body language. Dogs responding to elevated cortisol levels. Nothing that explained what Rex had done. Then he found something, a research paper from a military journal. Genetic inheritance of emotional sensitivity in working dog bloodlines. Marcus read through dense scientific language. The study focused on dogs bred from parents who'd shown exceptional ability to detect PTSD symptoms in veterans. Some of those dogs inherited the trait, could sense anxiety, depression, suicidal ideation before any outward signs appeared. It was rare, it wasn't well understood, but it was documented. Marcus looked at Rex. The dog lay on his bed, eyes half closed but aware, always aware. "Where did you come from, buddy?" The next morning, Marcus called the Canine Training Center where he'd gotten Rex 6 years ago. A woman named Dr. Ellen Morrison answered. She was the head of the breeding program. "I need information about Rex's bloodline," Marcus said, his parents specifically. Dr. Morrison was silent for a moment. "Can I ask why?" Marcus explained what happened. The crowd, Emma, the hand signals, Rex's inexplicable detection. Another long silence. "Officer Chen, I think you should come see me. There are things about Rex you need to know." 2 hours later, Marcus sat in Dr. Morrison's office. She was 50-something. Gray hair pulled back, sharp eyes that missed nothing. Former military, Marcus guessed from the way she carried herself. She placed a file on the desk between them. Rex's mother was a military working dog named Bella. She served 3 deployments in Afghanistan. Marcus opened the file, saw photos. A beautiful German Shepherd mix with intelligent eyes. Bella wasn't a standard patrol dog, Dr. Morrison continued. She specialized in PTSD support and threat detection. She could sense emotional distress in soldiers before they showed outward symptoms. Saved 3 lives by detecting suicidal intent days before the soldiers attempted. Marcus stared at the photos. "How? We don't fully understand it. Some dogs have heightened sensitivity to chemical changes humans emit during extreme stress. Cortisol, adrenaline. Other markers we can't measure yet." Dr. Morrison leaned forward. "Bella was 1 in a million. What happened to her?" "She died in action. Suicide bomber got through a checkpoint. Bella detected him. Put herself between the bomber and her handler. She saved 4 soldiers that day." Marcus felt his throat tighten. "I'm sorry. She was pregnant when it happened. Emergency C-section saved the puppies. Rex was one of 3 survivors." Dr. Morrison's voice was gentle. "We've been monitoring him, watching for signs he inherited Bella's abilities. But we couldn't know for certain until something triggered it. Emma triggered it. Yes, Rex sensed her fear, her desperation. The same way his mother sensed soldiers in crisis." Dr. Morrison closed the file. What your dog did yesterday wasn't luck, Officer Chen. It was genetics. It was legacy. Bella's gift passed down to her son. Marcus looked down at Rex. The Malinois sat at his feet, calm and steady. Just a dog doing his job. Except he wasn't just a dog. He was something more. Something exceptional. Does the military know? Marcus asked. Dr. Morrison's expression shifted. They do now. I filed my report this morning. Something in her tone made Marcus's stomach drop. And? They want him back. Marcus felt the world tilt sideways. They want him back? Dr. Morrison nodded slowly. Rex's abilities are extraordinary. The military thinks he could save lives in specialized victim advocacy work, hostage situations, trafficking cases, places where victims can't ask for help. He's been my partner for 6 years. I know. Her voice was soft. But this is bigger than partnership, Officer Chen. Rex could do things no other dog can do. Marcus looked down at Rex. The Malinois gazed back with those dark, intelligent eyes. Trusting, loyal. I need time to think about this. You have until tomorrow. I'm sorry. I wish I could give you longer. Marcus drove home in silence. Rex sat in back, unaware that his entire future hung in balance. When they got to the apartment, Marcus let him out. They walked to the small park 2 blocks away. Evening settled over the city. Streetlights flickered on. Rex sniffed around the fence line, marking his territory, doing normal dog things. Marcus sat on a bench. His phone buzzed. A text from Detective Bradley. Sullivan spotted near Lincoln Elementary. Units responding. Marcus's blood turned cold. Lincoln Elementary. That was Emma's school. He was on his feet before he finished reading. Rex, come. They ran back to the apartment. Marcus grabbed his radio and duty belt, called dispatch while pulling on his vest. This is Unit 47. What's the status at Lincoln Elementary? Suspect vehicle in the parking lot. White. T-Van matching description. SWAT is en route. Marcus and Rex hit the patrol car. Sirens wailing, they raced through evening traffic. His mind spun. Sullivan was going back to the school, going back for another child. She'd lost Emma. Now she wanted a replacement. The school appeared ahead. Police units everywhere, red and blue lights painting the building. Parents behind barriers, faces twisted with fear. Marcus parked and ran toward the command post. Captain Williams stood with the SWAT commander, studying a tactical layout. Chen. The captain's voice was clipped. Keep your canine back. This is a containment situation. Sir, Rex detected Sullivan before. He might. Negative. We have protocols. Williams turned back to the SWAT commander. Marcus stepped aside, pulled Rex close. Frustration burned in his chest. Through the crowd, he could see the white van parked near the school entrance. Same van from yesterday. Driver's door slightly open. Windows tinted too dark to see inside. The police negotiator moved forward with a megaphone. Karen, this is Officer Davis. We just want to talk. Nobody needs to get hurt. No response from the van. Karen, please, let us help you. Still nothing. Then movement. The driver's door opened wider. Sullivan's blonde hair appeared. Her face looked wrong. Makeup smeared. Eyes wild. I just want my daughter back. Her voice cracked. You took her from me. The negotiator kept his tone calm. Karen, we can talk about this, but you need to let the child go first. No more talking. The engine started. The van lurched forward. Rex barked, sharp and urgent. Every muscle in his body tensed. Before Marcus could react, Rex tore free from his grip. The leash burned through Marcus's hand. The Malinois sprinted toward the van. Rex, no! Everything happened in seconds. The van accelerated. Rex closed the distance impossibly fast. The dog launched himself at the partially open driver's window. 80 pounds of muscle and determination crashed through. Sounds of struggle erupted from inside. The van swerved hard left, clipped a parked sedan, jerked to a stop. Marcus ran. Other officers converged from all directions, weapons drawn, shouting. The side door burst open. Rex emerged carrying something in his jaws. Gentle, careful, a boy, maybe 6 years old. Rex held him by the back of his shirt, the way a mother dog carries puppies. The boy was terrified but unharmed. Rex set him down on the pavement. The child scrambled away toward waiting paramedics. Karen Sullivan stumbled out after, hands up, face streaked with tears. I just wanted my baby back. I just wanted her back. Officers swarmed her, cuffed her, read her rights. She didn't resist, just sobbed. Marcus reached Rex, dropped to his knees, ran his hands over the dog's body, checking for injuries. Blood on his muzzle. Not his own. Sullivan's, probably. What were you thinking? Marcus's voice shook. You could have been killed. Rex licked his face, tail wagging slightly. Captain Williams appeared above them. His expression was hard. That was reckless, Chen. Yes, sir. Also extraordinary. The captain's voice softened. That dog just saved a life. Paramedics checked the boy. His name was Tyler. He'd been leaving after-school care when Sullivan grabbed him. Had him in the van less than 10 minutes before police arrived. Tyler's mother broke through the barriers, ran to her son, grabbed him. In so tight, Marcus thought she might never let go. The media arrived, news cameras, reporters. Someone had filmed Rex's jump on their phone. It was already going viral. Marcus stayed back, let the captain handle the press. He just wanted to go home, wanted to sit in his quiet apartment with Rex and process everything that had happened. But Dr. Morrison appeared at his elbow. Officer Chen. He turned. Her face was serious. The military saw the footage. They're sending representatives tomorrow morning. They want Rex transferred to specialized service immediately. Marcus's chest tightened. I haven't decided. I know, but you need to understand what's at stake. Dr. Morrison looked at Rex. His abilities could save dozens of lives, maybe hundreds. Children like Emma, like Tyler, people who can't save themselves. Marcus knew she was right, knew it in his bones. But the thought of losing Rex felt like losing a piece of himself. That night, he sat on his couch with Rex's head in his lap. The dog's breathing was slow and steady, content. You're special, Marcus whispered. You know that, buddy. Rex's tail thumped once against the cushion. Marcus thought about his ex-wife, the things she'd said during the divorce. You never let anyone in, Marcus. You build walls and hide behind them. She'd been right. He'd spent years keeping people at arm's length, afraid to connect, afraid to lose. Rex had gotten through those walls. Somehow this dog had reached the parts of Marcus he'd thought were dead. Could he really send him away? Morning came too fast. Marcus barely slept. He kept replaying everything in his mind. Emma's terrified eyes. Tyler being carried to safety in Rex's gentle jaws. Dr. Morrison's words echoing like a sentence. They want him back. Marcus fed Rex breakfast, watched him eat with the same methodical precision he did everything. The Malinois never rushed, never panicked, just steady and reliable and present. At 8 o'clock, Marcus's phone rang. Captain Williams. Chen, get down to the station. We have a situation. What kind of situation? Karen Sullivan made bail. Marcus felt ice flood his veins. How is that possible? Her sister posted it. Public defender argued she wasn't a flight risk. Williams sounded furious. Judge set it at 50,000. She walked an hour ago. She abducted 2 children. I know, believe me, I know. But the system is what it is. Williams paused. There's more. Sullivan's sister reported her missing 20 minutes after she posted bail. Marcus was already moving, grabbing his keys. Rex sensed the urgency and jumped to his feet. Where was she last seen? Her sister's house in Riverside. But Chen, we've got patrol units searching. You don't need to. I'm coming in. Marcus drove to the station with sirens off, but lights flashing. Traffic parted around him. Rex sat alert in back, watching the world blur past. At the station, the detective bullpen was chaos. Phones ringing, officers moving between desks. Bradley stood at a whiteboard, covered in photos and notes. Sullivan's vehicle? Marcus asked. Sister's car. Silver Honda Civic. Bradley pointed to a license plate number on the board. APB went out 15 minutes ago. Marcus studied the board. Photos of Sullivan from her arrest. Photos of Emma and Tyler. A timeline of events. Then something else caught his eye. A map. Red circles marked around several locations. Lincoln. Olin Elementary. The parking structure where Emma was found. 3 other elementary schools in the county. What are these? Marcus pointed. Bradley's expression darkened. Sullivan's search history. Her sister let us access her laptop. Sullivan had been researching schools for weeks, looking at dismissal times, security protocols, playgrounds. Marcus felt sick. She was planning this. For months, ever since the anniversary of her daughter's death. Bradley pulled up a photo on his computer. A little girl with blonde hair and a bright smile. Her name was Lily. She'd be 10 now. The resemblance to Emma was striking. Same age when she died. Same dark eyes. Same smile. Sullivan wasn't just grieving, Bradley continued. She was replacing. Looking for a child who matched her daughter's profile. Marcus thought about Emma's terror, Tyler's fear. How many other children had Sullivan watched before she finally acted? His radio crackled. All units, silver Honda Civic spotted northbound on Jefferson. Suspect vehicle confirmed. Marcus ran for his car. Rex was right behind him. They joined the pursuit 3 miles north of downtown. 5 patrol cars already tailing the Honda. Sullivan was driving erratically, swerving between lanes, running red lights. Marcus keyed his radio. Unit 47 in pursuit. Suspect is driving recklessly. Possible mental health crisis. The Honda suddenly veered right, took an exit toward the warehouse district. Old buildings, empty lots, not many people. The pursuit slowed as they entered narrow streets. Sullivan's car fishtailed around corners. She was panicking, making mistakes. Then she stopped, just slammed on the brakes in the middle of an empty intersection. The patrol cars formed a perimeter. Officers emerged with weapons drawn. Marcus stayed in his vehicle, watching. Sullivan sat in the driver's seat, not moving, her head down, shoulders shaking. The negotiator approached carefully, megaphone in hand. Karen, step out of the vehicle, hands where we can see them. Nothing. Karen, please, let's talk about this. Still no movement. Marcus felt Rex tense in the back seat. The dog's ears were flat against his head. A low whine built in his throat. Something was wrong. Marcus grabbed his radio. She's not responding. Something's off. Before anyone could reply, Sullivan's door opened. She stepped out. Her hands were empty, but her expression was blank, completely empty. She started walking. Not toward the officers, toward a chain-link fence at the edge of the intersection. Beyond it, an abandoned building. 4 stories of broken windows and graffiti. Ma'am, stop right there. Sullivan kept walking. Climbed the fence with mechanical precision. Dropped down on the other side. Officers scrambled. She's entering the building. All units move in. Marcus released Rex from the vehicle. The dog stayed glued to his side as they approached the fence. Other officers were already climbing over. The building's entrance gaped like a mouth. Darkness inside. The smell of mold and rust drifted out. Marcus pulled his flashlight. Police. Karen, come out now. His voice echoed through empty halls. No response. They entered carefully. SWAT took point. Marcus and Rex followed 10 feet back. The beam of his flashlight cut through shadows. Debris everywhere. Broken glass, old furniture, graffiti covering every surface. Rex's growl rumbled continuously now. He pulled toward a stairwell on the left. She went up, Marcus said into his radio. They climbed, each floor darker than the last. Windows boarded up, only thin streams of daylight breaking through cracks. On the 3rd floor, they found her. Sullivan stood at a window. The boards had been torn away. She was silhouetted against gray sky. Karen. The negotiator's voice was gentle. Step back from the window. She didn't turn, didn't acknowledge them at all. I just wanted Lily back. Her voice was small, childlike. I just wanted my baby. I know, but this isn't the way. She was 7, just 7 years old. Sullivan's shoulders shook. The car came out of nowhere. I couldn't stop it, couldn't save her. Marcus holstered his weapon, took a slow step forward. Rex moved with him, silent now. Karen, listen to me. What happened to Lily wasn't your fault. I was driving. Tears streamed down her face. I was supposed to protect her. Accidents happen. It wasn't your fault, Marcus kept his voice steady. But Emma and Tyler, they have parents too. Parents who love them. You can't replace Lily by taking someone else's child. I know. Sullivan's voice broke. I know that now. But I see her everywhere. In every little girl. Every smile. Every laugh. She swayed slightly at the window. Officers tensed. Rex moved before Marcus could stop him. Walked right up to Sullivan. Sat down beside her. Just sat there. Sullivan looked down. Saw the dog. Something in her face shifted. You're the one who found her. Found Emma. She reached down with shaking fingers. Touched Rex's head. You knew she needed help. Rex leaned into her touch. Patient. Calm. I need help too, Sullivan whispered. I'm so tired. Then let us help you, Marcus said. Step back from the window. Come with us. Sullivan stood there for a long moment. The wind picked up outside, whistling through broken glass. Then she stepped back. Away from the window. Toward the officers waiting with open hands. Sullivan collapsed into the arms of the waiting officers. Her body went limp, years of grief and madness draining out all at once. They guided her down gently, cuffed her with care rather than force. Paramedics were waiting on the ground floor. They wrapped her in blankets, checked her vitals. She stared at nothing, mumbling about Lily, about the accident, about 7-year-old Smiles she'd never see again. Marcus watched them load her into the ambulance. Psychiatric hold this time. Secure facility. No bail. Rex sat at his feet. The dog's breathing was steady now. Crisis over. Captain Williams approached. Good work in there, Chen. You talked her down. Rex talked her down, Marcus corrected. I just stood there. Williams looked at the Malinois. That dog has something special. Yes, sir, he does. Back at the station, Marcus filed his report. Detailed every moment. Sullivan's behavior. The abandoned building. Rex's intervention. By the time he finished, it was almost 7 in the evening. His phone buzzed. Dr. Morrison. Officer Chen, the military representatives are here. They'd like to meet with you. Marcus closed his eyes. He'd forgotten. With everything that happened today, he'd completely forgotten. I'll be right there. He found them in the conference room. 2 people in dress uniforms, a man and a woman, both carrying the bearing of career military. Dr. Morrison sat with them. The woman stood first. Officer. Officer Chen, I'm Major Linda Torres. This is Captain James Reed. We're with the K-9 Special Operations Division. Marcus shook their hands, sat down across from them. Rex settled at his feet. Major Torres opened a folder. We've reviewed Rex's actions over the past 48 hours. The rescue of Emma Rodriguez. The intervention with Tyler Mitchell. Today's incident with Karen Sullivan. She looked up. Your dog has capabilities we haven't seen in 15 years of working with military canines. He's exceptional, Marcus agreed. We'd like to transfer him to our victim advocacy program. We work with trafficking survivors, hostage negotiations, crisis interventions. Places where victims can't verbally communicate their distress. Torres leaned forward. Rex could save dozens of lives, maybe hundreds. Captain Reed added, We'd compensate you, of course. Fair market value plus emotional consideration. And we'd provide regular updates on his service. Marcus looked down at Rex. The dog gazed back with those intelligent eyes, trusting him completely. Can I ask you something? Marcus said quietly. Of course. If you take Rex, will he be happy? Torres and Reed exchanged glances. Torres spoke carefully. Our dogs receive excellent care, best facilities, top veterinary treatment. They're valued members of our team. That's not what I asked. Marcus kept his voice level. Will he be happy? Silence filled the room. I can't guarantee happiness, Officer Chen. I can guarantee purpose, mission, the chance to use his abilities to their fullest potential. Marcus thought about the past 6 years. Rex sleeping beside his bed, riding in the patrol car, walking evening routes through quiet neighborhoods. Simple things, peaceful things. Then he thought about Emma's face when Rex found her. Tyler safe in his jaws, Sullivan stepping back from that window. Purpose versus peace, mission versus companionship. I need to think about it, Marcus said. Major Torres's expression tightened. Officer Chen, with respect, time is a factor. We have active cases where Rex's abilities could make an immediate difference. I understand, but this is the most important decision I'll ever make for him. I won't rush it. Torres started to argue. Dr. Morrison held up her hand. Give him tonight, she said. He's earned that much. The military representatives weren't happy, but they agreed. Tomorrow morning, final answer. Marcus drove home through darkness. City lights blurred past. Rex sat in back, calm and patient as always. At the apartment, Marcus made dinner. Rex ate his kibble. They sat on the couch together. Marcus pulled out his phone, scrolled through news articles about the past 2 days. The headlines were everywhere. Hero K-9 saves kidnapped girl. Police dog rescues second child in dramatic intervention. Miracle dog stops suicide attempt. Comments flooded every article. Thousands of people calling Rex a hero, saying he deserved medals, saying he was special. They were right. Rex was special. Marcus looked at the dog beside him. What do you want, buddy? If you could tell me, what would you say? Rex tilted his head, tongue lolling slightly. Marcus's phone rang. Unknown number. He almost didn't answer. Then something made him pick up. Hello? Officer Chen? A man's voice, deep, controlled. This is Sergeant Daniel Rodriguez, Emma's father. Marcus sat up straighter. Sergeant Rodriguez. See. How is Emma? She's home, safe, thanks to you and your dog. His voice thickened with emotion. I'm calling from Germany. Just got back to base after emergency leave. I wanted to thank you personally. You don't need to thank me, sir. I was doing my job. You did more than your job. You saved my daughter's life. Rodriguez paused. Emma told me about the hand signals, about how she used what I taught her. She's a brave kid, smart kid. She gets that from her mother. Rodriguez's voice steadied. Officer Chen, Emma wants to talk to you. Is that okay? Of course. Rustling sounds, then Emma's voice, small but clear. Officer Chen? Hey Emma, how are you doing? Better. Mom says I can go back to school next week. She hesitated. Is Rex there? Marcus looked at the dog. He's right here. Can I talk to him? Marcus smiled despite everything. Sure. He held the phone near Rex's ear. Emma's voice slowed it out. Hi Rex. It's me, Emma. I just wanted to say thank you. You saved me. You're the best dog in the whole world. Rex's ears perked up. His tail wagged. I'm going to be a canine officer when I grow up, Emma continued. Just like Officer Chen. And I'm going to have a dog just like you. I promise I'll be really good at it. Marcus felt something break open in his chest. Emma kept talking. My dad says you're special, that you have a gift. He says gifts like that are for helping people. So even if you have to go away, I understand. Because you'll help other kids like me. Other kids who are scared and alone. Marcus pulled the phone back. Emma? Yeah. You're going to be an amazing canine officer someday. Thank you. Her voice brightened. Bye, Rex. I love you. The call ended. Marcus sat in silence. Rex leaned against his leg, warm and solid and loyal. 7 years old. Emma was 7 years old, and she understood sacrifice better than Marcus did. He thought about his ex-wife's words again. You build walls, Marcus. Maybe it was time to tear them down. Marcus didn't sleep that night. He sat on the couch, with Rex's head in his lap, watching the hours tick by. At 3 a.m, he made his decision. At 8 o'clock, he called Dr. Morrison. I have my answer, he said. I'm listening. The answer is no. Silence stretched across the line. Officer Chen, let me finish. Marcus took a breath. I'm not giving Rex to the military, but I'm not keeping him on regular patrol either. I don't understand. I want to create a specialized unit. Right here. Canine Victim Services. Rex and I will work trafficking cases, missing children, crisis interventions. Everything the military wanted him for, but we'll do it here, where we belong. More silence. Then Dr. Morrison's voice, careful and measured. That would require funding, training, department approval. I know. Can you help make it happen? Let me make some calls. 3 hours later, Marcus sat in Captain Williams's office. Dr. Morrison was there. Major Torres and Captain Reed had joined via video call. Williams leaned back in his chair. So you want to start a new unit? Yes, sir. Canine Victim Advocacy. We'd work with existing departments, but focus specifically on cases where victims can't communicate normally. Rex's abilities would be used exactly how the military intended, just under local jurisdiction. Major Torres spoke from the screen. Officer Chen, our program has resources you can't access. Federal. AL funding. Advanced training. International reach. With respect, Major, Rex doesn't need international reach. He needs to be where he can do the most good. And that's here, in our community, with people he already knows and trusts. Torres's expression hardened. You're letting personal attachment override tactical advantage. No, ma'am. I'm choosing partnership over deployment. There's a difference. Captain Reed leaned into frame. What makes you think a local unit could handle the scope of cases Rex is capable of addressing? Dr. Morrison spoke up. Because local agencies handle these cases every day. Trafficking, abductions, domestic violence. The need isn't theoretical. It's immediate and constant. She looked at Williams. Captain, how many missing children cases did your department handle last year? Williams pulled up a file. 43. How many involve victims who couldn't communicate due to trauma, disability, or language barriers? Roughly half. And how many of those cases remain unsolved? Williams's jaw tightened. Too many. Dr. Morrison turned to the screen. Major Torres, I understand your position, but Officer Chen is right. Rex can serve just as effectively here, maybe more effectively, because he'll be embedded in a community that already knows his capabilities. Torres and Reed conferred quietly off-screen. When Torres returned, her expression had shifted slightly. We'd want oversight, regular progress reports, training standards maintained at military level. Agreed, Marcus said immediately. And if Rex's abilities are needed for federal cases, we'd expect cooperation. Absolutely. Torres studied him through the screen. You really believe this will work? Yes, ma'am, I do. She exchanged one more look with Captain Reed, then nodded. All right, Officer Chen, you've got 6 months to prove the concept. After that, we reassess. Williams stood. I'll need to get approval from the City Council. Budget allocation, personnel assignments. He looked at Marcus. This won't be easy. I know, sir. But I think it's worth trying. Williams extended his hand. Let's make it happen. The video call ended. Dr. Morrison gathered her files. I'll put together a training curriculum. Connect you with specialists in trauma-informed canine handling. Thank you. She paused at the door. Officer Chen, what you're doing? It's the right choice. For Rex, and for the community. After she left, Marcus sat alone with Williams. You sure about this, Chen? The captain asked quietly. More sure than I've been about anything in years. Williams nodded. Then let's get to work. The next 2 weeks were chaos. Budget meetings, training sessions, equipment requisitions. Marcus worked 12-hour days setting up the new unit. Rex adapted like he adapted to everything. Calm, patient, ready for whatever came next. They started taking cases immediately. A trafficking victim recovered from a truck stop, too traumatized to speak. Rex sat beside her during the interview. When she finally broke down and told her story, she kept one hand in his fur the whole time. A missing child with autism, nonverbal, found wandering near the highway. Rex stayed with him at the hospital until his parents arrived. The boy never made a sound, but he smiled when Rex licked his hand. A domestic violence victim who spoke only Mandarin, terrified of the police. Rex's presence calmed her enough. Oh, that they could get a translator and document the abuse. Each case built the program's reputation. Word spread through the department, through social services, through the community. 3 weeks in, Detective Bradley stopped by Marcus's desk. Got a case for you, he said. Missing girl, 10 years old, disappeared from a shopping mall yesterday. Marcus grabbed his jacket. Details? Name Sofia Martinez. Last seen near the food court. Mall security footage shows her leaving with an unknown male. She didn't look distressed, but her mother says Sofia would never go with a stranger willingly. Any leads on the male? Working on it, but Chen, there's something else. Bradley pulled up a photo on his phone. This was found in the parking lot where Sofia was last seen. It was a small pink bracelet, the kind children make with plastic beads. Sofia's mother confirmed it's hers, but look at the pattern. Marcus studied the photo. The beads spelled out a message in alternating colors, HELP, just like Emma's hand signals. A child finding a way to communicate danger when words wouldn't work. Marcus looked down at Rex. The dog was already on his feet, sensing the shift in energy. Let's go find her, Marcus said. They walked to the patrol car together. Partners. A team built on trust and purpose and something deeper than either could name. The morning sun painted everything gold. Rex jumped into his spot in the back. Marcus started the engine. His radio crackled. Unit 47 dispatch. Go ahead. Additional information on the Sofia Martinez case. Witness reported seeing a silver sedan leaving the mall parking structure around the time of disappearance. Possible plate match to a person of interest in a trafficking investigation. Marcus's grip tightened on the wheel. Copy that. En route to last known location. He glanced in the rearview mirror. Rex stared back, alert and ready. This was why they'd stayed together. This was the purpose Dr. Morrison talked about. Not replacing what they had, but expanding it. Using Rex's gift where it mattered most. Saving children who couldn't save themselves. Let's bring her home, buddy. Rex's tail thumped once against the seat. They drove toward the mall, sirens silent but lights flashing, ready for whatever came next. 3 months later, golden autumn light painted the City Hall steps where 200 people gathered for the first responders recognition ceremony. Marcus stood near the back in his dress uniform, uncomfortable with the attention. Rex sat, perfectly at his side, tail wagging slightly as children pointed and waved. The Canine Victim Services Unit had recovered 14 missing children in 12 weeks. 14 families reunited. 14 lives saved. Sofia Martinez had been the second. Rex had tracked her emotional signature through a crowded shopping district to a motel 3 miles away. She'd been rescued within 6 hours of her disappearance. After Sofia came others. Each case different. Each child unable to ask for help in traditional ways. The program had expanded. 2 more canine teams were in training. Funding secured for the next 3 years. Other cities were calling, asking how to replicate the model. Mayor Patricia Chen stepped to the podium. No relation to Marcus, though reporters loved making jokes about it. Today we honor those who go beyond the call of duty, she began. Those who see possibilities, said where others see limitations, who turn tragedy into hope. Marcus tuned out the speech. He'd heard versions of it a dozen times. His eyes scanned the crowd instead. Emma Rodriguez sat in the front row with her parents. Sergeant Rodriguez had returned from deployment 2 months ago. He wore his dress uniform today, chest full of ribbons. Teresa sat beside him, holding Emma's hand. Emma wore a small police badge pin on her jacket. Honorary Junior Officer. Awarded by Captain Williams last week. She took it everywhere. Tyler Mitchell was there too, the 6-year-old boy Rex had carried from Sullivan's van. He sat on his father's shoulders, grinning and eating cotton candy from a vendor cart nearby. The mayor's voice cut through Marcus's thoughts. Officer Marcus Chen and Canine Rex, please come forward. Marcus's stomach clenched. He hated this part. But Rex was already moving, pulling him gently toward the stage. They climbed the steps. Flashbulbs popped. Cameras clicked. The mayor held a medal, the city's Medal of Valor, rarely awarded. Officer Chen, your initiative in creating the Canine Victim Services Unit has fundamentally changed how we approach cases involving vulnerable populations. Your partnership with Rex has saved 14 lives and brought hope to countless families. She pinned the medal to his uniform. Thank you for your service. Applause thundered through the crowd. Marcus nodded awkwardly, wanted desperately to retreat. Then Emma stood up, started walking toward the stage. Her parents tried to stop her, but she pulled free. She climbed the steps, ran straight to Rex, dropped to her knees and threw her arms around his neck. Thank you, she whispered into his fur. Thank you for saving me. Rex's tail wagged hard. He licked her face. Emma laughed. The crowd went silent. Then someone started clapping. Then another. Then everyone. Teresa Rodriguez climbed the stage, tears streaming down her face. She hugged Marcus. You gave me back my daughter. How do I ever thank you for that? Marcus's throat tightened. You don't need to thank me, ma'am. I was just doing my job. No. Sergeant Rodriguez joined them. He saluted Marcus formally. You did more than your job. You saw a need and filled it. You turned one extraordinary dog into a program that will save hundreds of lives. Tyler's family came up next. Then Sofia Martinez's parents. Then others. Families of children Rex had found. Each one with tears and gratitude and stories of hope restored. Marcus stood there, overwhelmed, while Rex accepted attention from everyone with patient grace. After the ceremony, Marcus and Rex walked to the park 2 blocks from the station. Their usual evening routine. The sun was setting, painting the sky in shades of orange and purple. Children played on swings. Parents chatted on benches. Normal Saturday evening things. Emma appeared beside them, still wearing her junior officer badge. Officer Chen? Hey, Emma, shouldn't you be with your parents? They're over there. She pointed to a bench where Teresa and Daniel sat watching. I wanted to ask you something. Okay. When I grow up and become a canine officer, can I work with one of Rex's puppies? Marcus blinked. Rex doesn't have any puppies. Not yet. But Dr. Morrison said dogs with special abilities should have their genes passed on. She said Rex might have puppies someday who can do what he does. Marcus looked down at Rex, the dog. Dog gazed back with those intelligent eyes. If that happens, Marcus said slowly, and if you still want to be a canine officer when you grow up, then yes, I think that would be perfect. Emma's face lit up. Really? Really. She hugged him quickly, then ran back to her parents. Marcus sat on a bench. Rex settled at his feet. They watched the sunset together in comfortable silence. His phone buzzed. A text from Dr. Morrison. New case came in. Missing teenager, Seattle. Local PD requesting Rex's assistance. Interested? Marcus typed back. Details? Girl with severe autism, nonverbal, missing 36 hours, family desperate. Marcus looked at Rex. The dog's ears perked up, sensing the change in Marcus's energy. What do you think, buddy? Ready to help another kid? Rex's tail thumped against the bench. Marcus texted Dr. Morrison. We're in. When do we leave? Tomorrow morning. I'll arrange transport. Marcus put his phone away, looked out at the park. At Emma playing with other children, laughing and safe. At families together in the fading light. 6 months ago, he'd been a divorced cop going through the motions. Alone, except for his dog. Building walls to keep the world out. Now he had purpose, connection, a team that was growing, cases that mattered. Rex had changed everything. Not just by saving Emma, but by showing Marcus what was possible when you stopped hiding and started helping. His phone buzzed again. Captain Williams. Good work today, Chen. The mayor wants to expand the program, adding 4 more canine teams by next quarter. That's great, sir. You built something important. You should be proud. After Williams hung up, Marcus sat quietly. The last rays of sunlight painted everything gold. He thought about Bella, Rex's mother, the military working dog who'd given her life protecting soldiers, who'd passed her extraordinary gift to her son. She'd never know what Rex had become. Never know how many lives he'd saved. But Marcus knew, and he'd make sure Rex's legacy continued. Through the program, through future canine teams, through children like Emma who'd grow up knowing that heroes came in all forms. Sometimes they wore badges, sometimes they walked on 4 paws, sometimes they saw when everyone else missed and refused to look away. Marcus pulled a photo from his wallet, the one taken at the ceremony today, him and Rex. Surrounded by the families they'd helped, everyone smiling, he put it on his mantle tonight, right beside his Medal of Valor. Rex leaned against his leg, warm and solid and loyal. Come on, buddy, Marcus said, standing. We've got a flight to catch tomorrow. Let's go home. They walked back through the park as stars began appearing overhead. A dog and his handler, partners in every sense, ready for whatever came next. Behind them, Emma waved from her father's shoulders. Marcus waved back. The world was full of children who needed help, who couldn't ask for it in words. But they had Rex now. They had the program. They had hope. And sometimes that made all the difference. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Drop your country name in the comments. These stories of courage and connection matter, and I love seeing how far they travel. Until next time, remember that heroes walk among us every day. Sometimes on 2 legs, sometimes on 4. Always watching, always ready, always there when we need them most.